What's happening, guys? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Friday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or evening or night. Wherever it is, where you're at, I hope you're having or had a wonderful day. You guys know what it is, man. Friday night lights. It's only right. It's only right. I know it's been a difficult week. It's been a difficult couple of weeks, I think, as Manchester United fans, of course. But tomorrow will be the day, guys. We bounce back. I mean, at this point, we kind of have to. We kind of have to. Of course, it's not a normal week or not even a normal day if Manchester United aren't in the news for something. I saw today dressing room leaks regarding the manager or players starting to, doubt the manager. Listen, it's a whole load of nonsense at this point. It's a whole load of nonsense. Big up to everybody in the chat. As always, big up to Mike, says salam alaikum, minna alaikum salam. I hope you are well. Big up to Eric. As always, shout out to Koala, says, big up, Minna. I want a FC24 stream. You don't know what it is, man. The F word. You know that F word, not the swearing word. The other F word is banned from my channel. We are only calling it FC24. That's it. We're calling it FC24. Of course, big up to EA Sports. I went to the EA FC launch yesterday. Guys, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'll tell you guys why I'm an idiot. And you guys can call me an idiot in the chat. I'm cool with that. I started a vlog. I started recording a vlog. And then once I got inside, I just stopped. I just forgot to record. And you know what? It's one of them ones, sensory overload, guys. It was so loud in there. It was so many people. I guess just vlogging was just not on my mind at all. I saw a bunch of footballers. Of course, everyone was starstruck, trying to get a picture with, of course, Thierry Henry. Saw Rio Ferdinand. I saw Eze. Who else did we see? Kelly Smith. Heung-min Song. I even saw some Brentford player, that he was just chilling. He was just sitting there playing FIFA with everyone. And nobody was really like harassing him. What I would expect to happen to a footballer. But he was there as well. I'm trying to remember who else was there. Ian Wright obviously was there. Alex Scott. It was a fun day. It was a fun evening. I mean, it was a fun evening. Hopefully, we'll try my best to do a giveaway on the channel. EA blessed us, of course, all with the FC24. Big up to Mike, says, let me actually pin this comment because we could actually talk about it before we go in and preview the Burnley game tomorrow. Yeah, I met Eze, guys, and I told him, take it easy on us, innit? Take it easy on us on Tuesday. Take it easy on us on Saturday because we're playing Palace back to back. Big up to Mike, says, there is no leaks in the dressing room. It's just so-called journalists trying to sell papers. The interesting thing, guys, regarding this, the interesting thing, I think, regarding all the times that we see leaks and all of that kind of stuff, it comes from the same journalists. Have you guys noticed? Now, I'm not a conspiracist. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but every time I see these so-called leaks, and I think Mike has a point, every time I see these so-called leaks, it comes from the same journalists, whether it was Van Gaal, whether it was under Mourinho, under Ragnick, even under Oli. All the time that we saw the dressing room unsettled, players this, players that. And it's funny because I know people used to speculate about who it was leaking this information. A lot of people used to blame Jesse Lingard. People used to blame Paul Pogba. Come on, guys, let's be realistic. And this is me just speaking in the case of if this is real. Yeah. If I was Paul Pogba, if the British media hated me, why the hell would I sell them information? Why would I leak them information? I would never, ever do that. So when people always used to, I feel like the people that was accused the most have now left. And if it's still happening, then it's either one or the other. It's either these leaks are not happening and it's just being made up, which I would really question, the ethics of journalism if a journalist was to do that, just to make up stuff. Or this could actually be happening and it's the same people still leaking now. Obviously, there's still quite a few players there that were under the previous managers, under Jose, under Oli, under Ralph Ragnick, in the same situations where that was happening. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be too surprised. I think one thing that I can say, and I think it's in my opinion, and I would like to know what you lot think, is I feel like if Erik ten Hag And this Sancho battle with Eric Ten Hag, if it doesn't get resolved and we continue to perform the way that we're doing, I think players will start to not side with Sancho, but start to question the manager and doubt the manager. Bearing in mind, guys, Eric Ten Hag kind of ditched his tactics and his idea and his ideology, methodology, whatever you want to call it, as a result of the fact that players couldn't implement what he wanted. So if a manager is able to do that, then I'm not saying we should ask questions, but I'm just saying, in it. I'm just saying. Dean Henderson and Jesse's brother, Jesse Lingard, is actually off to go and sign with Saudi. You guys heard it here first. He's off to Saudi. It's Lingard. He gets it from the staff. I highly doubt it's Jesse. I highly doubt it's Jesse Lingard. I actually doubt if any of it is even true. Big up Lil Yo-Yo says, don't forget agents are a key factor behind these leaks. Also, bear in mind, guys, a lot of agents are not happy with the way that Manchester United have been operating since Eric Ten Hag has come in, especially because his consultancy or management company, whoever is his management, have been heavily involved in a lot of the transfers that have been taking place and in the club and out of the club. Quite a few of them, quite a few players are signed with that management / agency company, and a lot of agents, I read in an article recently that they were not happy with the way Manchester United have been operating. So that's that. In terms of just the club in general, Eric Ten Hag did mention, I think it's very difficult for me to do a stream and to just not talk about Sancho. It's very difficult because I think that is one damning situation that we have going on right now. We can try not talk about it, but I think it will always come up regardless. My biggest concern with this Sancho problem is we don't have a right winger. So the fact that the manager is willing to see us struggle because he's staying firm in his belief or he's staying firm in his decision regarding, he wants an apology, he has to get an apology. It is what it is. That's one thing. Jadon Sancho, another entity in this situation, he's staying firm in his belief. Now, I think, like I said, I think it goes two ways. I think it's either the manager gets his way. I think the manager gets his way and either Sancho's out, which is most likely going to happen in January. He gets sold, or, Sancho eventually budges and then apologizes to the manager, takes accountability, all of that kind of stuff. It's either it goes like that, or what we're maybe going to start seeing is the players turning on the manager. And when I say turning, I don't mean, setting the dressing room on fire and all of that stuff. I mean, in the instance of leaking information to the press saying that, because if I read you guys word for word, verbatim, what was said by Samuel Lockhurst, who is just, it's always a coincidence that it's him that's got this information. But he said word for word, oh, let me find it. I hate when I save something and then it disappears. It just disappears. I saw the news about David De Gea as well. That was funny. And Eric Ten Hag was actually asked about the frustrations. So Samuel Lockhurst, obviously, if you guys haven't heard it, certain Manchester United players also feel they've been put in an invidious position to carry out Ten Hag's tactical instructions, as there is a feeling in the squad that his approach has been compromised by the indefinite absence of Antony. Cool. That's just Antony not being in the club, blah, 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 blah. However, it goes on to say that the dressing room sources, we don't know who the dressing room source could be. It could be the kit man. It could be a player. It could be the boot cleaner. It could be the cleaner. It could be anyone that has access to that dressing room. Honestly, guys, it could be anybody. But the dressing room sources have told Manchester Evening News that some players believe Eric Ten Hag has favourites in the squad who he is unprepared to single out for criticism, while they feel others are routinely rounded on by the manager. Now, is that any different to what Jadon Sancho kind of hinted at? Jadon Sancho kind of hinted at other people performing badly and still getting to carry on, getting opportunities, whereas he's being used as a scapegoat. Ten Hag was asked about this in a press conference today. He said, I don't know if it's a leak, but I know it's an opinion. I know my players, everyone can make suggestions. We are okay with it. At United, we have to win every game, so it doesn't change anything. As always, it's about how we play against Burnley. There's no easy game, definitely not against Burnley. My guy just started talking about Burnley. Obviously, that was what the press conference was related to. Now, even like I said, even if these leaks or whatever are legit, I think the biggest concern for me is this Jadon Sancho situation that is going to cause, I think with the Jadon Sancho issue, if we do not see results, and I mean starting tomorrow, if we don't start seeing good results, if we don't start seeing not even just good results, if we don't just see good performances, we don't see goals, we don't see a united team, I think it's only going to get more toxic. And that's what scares me or concerns me. I don't want to say scares me, but it concerns me. I don't like when the fan base gets toxic, especially I remember that era, the last 6 or so months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was literally, it was unbearable. It was unbearable. I don't think we can continue with this cycle of manager and player clashes, dressing room leaks, no results. Manager is, walking on thin ice. Manager gets sacked. I was about to say sucked. He doesn't get sucked. He gets sacked. Manager gets sacked. And it's a reoccurring theme, guys. It's a reoccurring pattern that happens. We've seen it under multiple managers. I don't think they will. Sancho has to apologize. It can move forward. If not, he will be sold in January. I definitely do think he will be sold in January. I don't think he's going to apologize. I don't think him and Ten Hag are going to bless it out. I don't think he's going to budge on his stance, and I don't think Ten Hag is going to budge on his stance either. Sancho doesn't have to apologize if he doesn't want to play for the manager. It is pointless to insist on him to apologize if we know he's checked out. It will be toxic and it will fasten Erik Ten Hag's exit. That is true. I think for me, it's more like, do they sell him, try to recuperate some sort of money, because at the end of the day, it's been a cash loss for the team for Manchester United for the last 2.5 years. So do they try to get some of that money back in the form of transfer fees, or do they just terminate his contract? Would you guys be shocked if in the next couple of days, not next couple of days, but the next couple of weeks, we see official statement, Jadon Sancho, and it says that the club have parted ways with him, and his contract's been terminated? That would have to be the biggest fumble of the bag. If there's anyone that's fumbled a bag, that will have to be that day. That if Manchester United terminate Jadon Sancho's contract, my guy was playing pro clubs with Tammy Abraham the same day, a few hours before Man United are getting ready to play Bayern Munich. Do you know how funny that is? That is so jokes, and people are piling on to him online. But the guy is suspended from work. It's honestly, it's not like he's not been called up to the squad and that's it. He's fully been told that he ain't training with the team and he ain't in the matchday squad at the moment. So can you really blame him for doing that? Yes, it's unprofessional, but it is what it is. But if Manchester United were to terminate his contract, honestly, guys, I'm not kidding. That's the biggest fumble ever. Speaking on the media, are you going to talk about that City article? Is that in reference to the UK government in being involved in? If that's what it's in reference to, Austin, I don't know what can I possibly say about it. If you guys don't know, the UK government are reportedly speaking with the UAE embassy here in the UK regarding the 115, I think it is 115 charges, FFP charges that they have. However, the UK ambassador to the UAE and the Foreign Office have said that they cannot, give information to the press regarding what the conversations are, but they've raised concerns to the Abu Dhabi embassy here in the UK. Once government and politicians get involved, it gets messy. Bear in mind, that's how Newcastle was practically brought by the Saudis. They were lobbied for in Parliament. If you lot don't know, UAE invests heavily in the UK, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, a lot of Middle Eastern nations invest heavily in this country, not just through buying things. For example, Qatar own a lot of places here in the UK. They own the Heathrow Airport, they own Harrods, they own One Canada Square, the Shard. They own a lot of stuff, but on top of that, they pay a lot of money for military stuff, so jets, all of that kind of stuff. So the UK will always want to keep good relations with the UAE, and the only reason why I see them probably intervening is probably because the Emir of Abu Dhabi probably said, listen, I was going to say Theresa May. I don't even know who's our prime minister right now. Rishi Sunak. The Emir of Abu Dhabi probably just called up Rishi Sunak and said, yo, chat to your peeps. Like, they're onto my peeps. You sort it out on your side, I'll sort it out on my side. And it's probably just something like that. That's it. Like, I don't see it being anything bigger than that. And I think people are just bringing it up, obviously mentioning it, writing articles about it, because it is a big deal. It is. I genuinely think it's a big deal. And I think at no point should politics and sports kind of like mix. Politicians should not be intervening at all. Sancho needs to go to Everton. Poor Everton are about to get relegated. I don't want that for my guy. I don't want that for him. No chance. It would cost too much Mina. It would have to be a clear termination with no payout. I think one thing is that they will definitely. No player will walk away from 350,000 a week. That's more than $1 million a month. Ain't nobody ever going to walk away from that. No one will ever do it. Sancho's the good. We want you in that pro clubs lobby, Mina. You know who I've actually played against in pro clubs was? I played against Hamza Chowdhury one night during Ramadan. I think it was like 2 a.m. I was obviously waiting for prayer time to start your fast, so I was waiting to eat. Obviously, he was too. Me and my friends were as well. And we just randomly ended up playing against Hamza Chowdhury. And I knew it was him because his PlayStation name was Hamza Chowdhury. And his player looked exactly like Hamza Chowdhury. So I wonder if I'd ever bump into Jadon Sancho in a pro club's lobby. Mina is cheating. End of story. 100%. It's not me condoning cheating at all. I don't condone it at all. But I'm saying that once the UK government get involved, they shouldn't be involved. The UK government should not be involved, should not be speaking to liaising with all of that stuff with the embassy here, because it should be an independent thing. I think it should be an independent thing, in my opinion, anyway. And if I think Abu Dhabi in particular, the owners of Manchester City, I think they've got a lot that they can ride on politically in terms of having leverage over the UK government, which is why I don't think they should intervene. It's a conflict of interest on both ends. And I don't condone it. And I would like to see them drop in. I'm talking about Man City, obviously. Big up to DJ, says, blessings to the minions. One love with the Jamaica flag. Listen, let's get into it, guys. Burnley versus Manchester United tomorrow at 8 p.m. kickoff. Listen, 8 p.m. kickoff at Turf Moor. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I couldn't tell you guys. I couldn't predict it. Can you do it on a rainy, cold day at Burnley? I don't know if we can. I expect us to. I'm amazed at the people that said that the Bayern Munich game was a good game. I'm very amazed by those people. Anyone that said that it was a good game and it was just an unlucky result to, lose 4-3. I think the stat line was very flattering on us. Very flattering on us. And one thing is that Bayern Munich were not at 100%. If Burnley even come out against us at 100%, we need to be at 100% too. Because I think we're in a position now. I think now we are in a position where in order to beat teams, we have to be 100% at all times. Do you guys remember back in the day? There were times where we could be 80%, 60%, 70%, and we could get a result. Right now, I feel like the only way we get results fully is if we are at 100%. 100%. Now, I think we will win, but you never know, guys. Burnley, newly promoted. Manager is Vincent Kompany. Can't stand that guy. Newly promoted. Haven't won a game yet. Saturday night under the lights at Turf Moor. Come on, guys. Who would write a better script? Who could write a better script for the embarrassment of us? I'm expecting us to win, but the reality is that we are in a situation now where we go into games not knowing the result. And how long has it been since you guys have actually felt like that? Because I can't lie, for most of last season, I always went into it thinking we'd win. Thinking we'd win. We're going to win 3-0, Mina. Inside. We'll win 4-1, Mina. Big up to G-Dad. Was actually the only optimistic person in before the Bayern game. 2-0 win for us. Listen, I'm glad that you lot all think we're going to win. I don't know who's going to be starting. I don't know when we're going to see Amrabat, because really and truly, I'm on my last limbs with Casemiro right now. I'm on my last. Just literally, he's holding on for dear life with me right now. So I hope we get to see Amrabat sometime soon. Obviously, that right-hand side, we don't know who's playing there. We don't know who's going to play there. Pellistri, I could say he could start. He wasn't amazing on midweek against Bayern Munich, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to judge him on his first full appearance that he's had for the team, his first start. Bear in mind, he's barely played even throughout the season. I think I've seen him come on once or twice during the season. So Casemiro is not the problem. I think Casemiro, I wouldn't say he's a problem, but I think he's a, what's the word? Sorry, guys. Sometimes my brain just, it lapses a little bit. And I can't say the word that I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say Casemiro is a problem, but I think he's a contributor to some of the problems that we have. And I would like for him to be the Casemiro that we had last season. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like, and this is not just him, by the way, guys, this is quite a few players that I could easily name. But sometimes I do feel like he's just running around, if that makes sense. I know that sounds stupid. But what I also sympathize with him is that he's doing the job of practically two midfielders when it comes to covering grass. So when I say he runs around a lot, it's true. He does. He overcommits sometimes, but he's also covering space on the pitch that should be covered by two players, I think, in my opinion. I think when he plays with Eriksen we know doesn't have the legs to run or to cover defensively. He ain't got it. So Casemiro is working overtime. Whereas I feel like if he plays with Amrabat, it gives him better coverage. And that's when I think we will see more of him consistently. Because let's be honest, guys, I will say stamina, fitness-wise, Manchester United are not looking good. We're not looking good this season. And I can name like 10 players in the starting 11. Literally, I can name 10 players in the starting 11 that don't look good defensively in transition, whether it comes to fitness and stamina. And that's why I'm not saying Casemiro is a problem. I'm not saying we need to get rid of him. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that we need to see him playing with Amrabat so that he can just, I don't want to say unlock him, but that just so that we can see the best of him kind of thing, you know? Because right now he's doing two people's work in that midfield. And it's definitely frustrating. I don't know how people can't not see it, because people can see the things that Bruno does wrong. People can see the things that Rashford does wrong, but nobody can see the things that when Casemiro sometimes overcommits to a press. Have you guys realized how much space he ends up leaving open? He doesn't scan properly. If you guys also notice, when he even gets the ball, it's like before the ball comes to him, he doesn't look around to see who's around him, if someone's coming to him. Too many times I've seen him with his back to the opponent, and he gets the ball and gets dispossessed immediately because he doesn't look. And that's not me saying he's not a good footballer. It's just me saying that he's not what we had last season. And I don't know what's gone wrong. I don't know what has gone wrong. Big up to everybody in the chat, of course. I really want to hear your thoughts regarding this Casemiro thing. Big up to Clyde, says Casemiro is definitely part of the issue. The style of football is asking too much of a player at his age. He can play just behind Bruno with Amrabat behind him, but not sure how it will work. I think it will work where it will either be Casemiro sitting deeper and Amrabat more forward, or vice versa. I think for fitness, stamina, I think for the ability to be a box-to-box, I think it will be Amrabat that sits deeper and Casemiro getting a bit forward. I mean, Casemiro likes to get forward. He likes to, you know him, he likes to lurk around in the box when we're looking for a goal. You guys have seen it. Big up to Wandon, says he is playing DM, CM and AM attacking midfield. What do you think is going to happen to him? And I think that's a big part of the problem, is that quite a few of our players are playing a lot of positions, but that at the same time they're not playing anywhere. Does that make sense? Casemiro, for example, you're right. He's playing DM, CM, and attacking midfield. I've seen him playing right mid at times. And I think maybe this goes back to what reportedly players are saying, that They're being played out of positions to accommodate to other people, or they're being played out in positions that the manager wants them to play that they don't want to. I don't know if it could be related to that, but it's not just Casemiro in that instance, guys. It's not just Casemiro. And I think if he's solely a DM or a CM, if he's solely a holding midfield or whatever, you see with Real Madrid, he was playing behind Cruz and Modric, but he had the ability to sometimes get forward. But there was always coverage. Whereas now there's no coverage. There's no coverage. And God forbid if Eriksen is the last man back in the midfield, because he ain't getting back. He's not helping those defenders. Those defenders might as well just prepare to defend by themselves, because I think Eriksen plays at his best when he doesn't have any defensive responsibilities. Because let's be honest, guys, that Sane goal, if any of you guys want to go back and look at it, yeah, that Sane goal, I play it down to Rashford and Eriksen. I think both of them had a part to play in that era. I think Reguilon did enough to make him pass the ball off to Harry Kane. Rashford just stopped running. Eriksen just stood still. Didn't move at all. No, Mina, not you too. What did you eat at the FC24 launch? They had bare vegan food. I can't lie. I didn't eat. I came home hungry. I didn't eat. They had a lot of vegan food. And also, I'm weary of, like, when I go to events, I don't really, unless it's specified, I don't eat at the events, because you never know what's halal and what's not halal. Casemiro may not be the problem, but he's not the solution anymore. Big up to Dead and Gone for that. That's a strong statement. That's a strong statement. And you know what? It says a lot, guys. If Casemiro was the answer to our problems last season, but he's not the solution anymore, because now we've surpassed the issue of the midfield alone being the problem. And this is actually I wish I could put it on. I wish I could put this on, a poster or something, because this is a very, very valid point. Shout out to Dead and Gone. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Casemiro's the problem. And I said that before, but I do think he's part of a number of issues that are in the team right now, which makes me kind of concerned, because Burnley tomorrow, it'll be a physical game. I think every game in the Premier League this season will be a physical game. I think Burnley will be a physical game. Obviously, they are coming out chip on their shoulder. They need to win a game. Number one, number two, Vincent Kompany, Manchester United and Man City history there. So that's another thing for them to be motivated to get a result, or for the manager to get a result. I think Ten Hag. I said this before we went into the Bayern Munich game, guys. I said Ten Hag needs to turn this around. He has to turn it around ASAP, whether it's now, i.e. when we were going into the Brighton game, or whether we were going into the Bayern Munich game. And now, again, I'm saying, guys, we've lost 3 games on the bounce. When was the last time this has happened? Honestly, somebody tell me in the chat. Please tell me in the chat. When was the last time we lost 3 games on the bounce? Because I can't remember. I definitely don't think we lost 3 games on the bounce last season. We need to go back to last season's system, but instead of Eriksen, we do a double pivot of Amrabat and Casemiro, both to share the dirty work. Amrabat sits because Casemiro is a threat going forward, 100%. For once, me and Koala agree on something. Big up to Sidorf says, to be honest, Amrabat playing, I see a midfield of Amrabat, Mount, and Bruno, Casemiro, Maino, and Eriksen benched. Guys, come on. All right, come on. You know what worries me? Guys, is that Mount didn't work with Casemiro. What makes you lot think he's working with Amrabat? Unless he's playing in a deeper role, which that's not him. Him and Bruno play essentially in a similar role. Him and Bruno essentially play in the same position. Yeah, essentially. I don't see how we can have Bruno and Mount in the same team unless Mount's playing right mid. And I would like to see him play right mid. I actually might do a video with someone that I know that is a Chelsea content creator, because they were saying to me that Mount as a right winger or right midfielder, but essentially how Amad Diallo was playing for Sunderland, where he's playing as a right winger, but he's in that half space between the 10 and the right-hand side. Mount would operate very well there. I don't see how people think that Mount can play with Amrabat there when he couldn't even play with Casemiro there. I'm not too sure about that. Big up to Sidar says, what do you think about the unrest in the dressing room? We spoke about it at the beginning of the stream. I don't take leaks seriously, guys. I don't know if it's just me, but if you can't give me verbatim, if you can't give me a straight up name of who said what, I don't want to be here. Oh, sources in the dressing room. Like I said, that source could be anyone. It could be the person that takes the mud off the boots. It could be the kit man. It can be the receptionist. It could be the receptionist that's been there for 50 years. It could be anyone. So unless you're given names, which I don't think any journalist will ever do, because most of the time it's true. If you have a source, it's always on the idea of being anonymous. So I get that. But my only concern or question that I have is that whenever there is leaks from the dressing room, it's always the same reporter reporting it. How many sources does he have? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Minna, what do you think about Onana? Is he a level down? You know what? Yeah, guys. Before we go on to talk more about the Burnley game, let's talk about Onana, because I saw the most ridiculous. I didn't even read the article. I just saw the title of it. And I said, I ain't reading this because I don't read articles on the Daily Mail anyways. But it was an article on the Daily Mail, and it basically was about. I have to go back and read it just so that you guys, so everyone can laugh with me. I'm just going to read the title of the article, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know what article I'm talking about. Who is the guy that even wrote it? Let's name and shame the guy that wrote the article, because it was written by a guy called Michael Pavitt of the Mail Online. Yeah. So it's on the Daily Mail, and it's a picture of Andre Onana getting into his car, coming back from Bayern Munich duty, getting into his car, and the title of the article was Andre Onana's handling woes continue as he dropped his car keys at Manchester United's training after Bayern loss. You can't be flipping serious. Are you telling me there's nothing to write about in this world, in this dunya, in this whole world? There is nothing for you to write about. You have to write and take a picture of Andre Onana as he drops his, what's it called? Keys. You can't be serious. I'm sorry, guys. You can't. You can't be. You can't look. It's disgraceful, and I'm glad they're getting cooked. I'm actually glad 6,000 quote tweets. I'm glad they're getting cooked. I wasn't one of them. I wasn't one of them, obviously, but it's actually really disgraceful, honestly. And I'll be honest, I don't. If you guys ever see me talking about articles I've read, you know that I don't read articles from I'm always referencing The Athletic. If it's takeover stuff, I'm referencing Financial Times, Bloomberg, etc. Please, guys, stop reading that outlet. Don't read that outlet. Whenever I see on my timeline, I don't even read the article. I wait to see, the accounts that take quotes from an article and post it. I wait to see what they post, because I'm not going to give them the clicks. But honestly, I think this Andre Onana thing, number one, that goal that he conceded, he should have done better. Brighton, there was one goal I think he should have done better. Bayern Munich, first goal, he should have done better. But the way that he came out in the second half, I think, was a lot better than someone who had just conceded 2 goals in the first half. I think, in my opinion. I think, yes, our heads dipped after that. After the first goal he conceded, and I think kudos to him. I was saying, for kind of keeping his head up. Came out after the game, requested to do an interview with CBS, did all the post-game media stuff with TNT Sports after the game. Where's the captain? After a 4-3 loss opening week of Champions League, he came out instead to do it, and I respect that. One thing I will say, guys, is for everyone I saw so many people talking about David De Gea, and one thing we need to accept, because I'm guilty of it sometimes. I used to be guilty of it in the past. I remember I wanted Paul Pogba so badly to stay at Manchester United. I was so disappointed when he left. When he left, I was like, oh, see, if that was Pogba, he would have done this in midfield, or he would have done that, whatever. Yeah, we have to accept that a player has gone. David De Gea has left. If you're not going to get behind the players, then please just don't. And that's applicable to people. And I say it to you lot all the time. For the people that don't like Mason Mount on the channel, get behind the player, at least give him a chance. And the same goes for Andre Onana. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I think I wouldn't say he's got butterfingers, but I think it's the nerves. I think it's the spotlight. There's no difference. There's no club in the world. I think maybe Real Madrid. Probably Real Madrid. Maybe you lot might disagree, but there's no other club in the world that would have the spotlight that Manchester United does, especially when we are not performing well. Yeah? Especially number one. Number two, David De Gea right now is considering to retire because no top club wants him. He's turned down offers from multiple Saudi teams, guys. He turned down offers from multiple Saudi teams. Come on, guys. What do they say? What's the English saying? The proof is in the pudding, or whatever. Was it the pudding is in the proof? The pudding is in the proof. Proof is in the pudding. I don't know which one sounds right. I think it's the proof is in the pudding. So the proof is in the pudding, guys. Essentially, you guys get what I'm getting to. Please, let's relax with the Onana hate. And we can be critical, we can question it, all of that stuff, but I don't think it's really warranted. You're right about the Sane goal, but the Gnabry goal highlights the problem Amrabat is perfect for. Midfielders not tracking back to defend those situations. It's exactly why I say Casemiro is not the only issue we have. That's literally like Casemiro, like Dead and Gone said it earlier in the chat. He was never the problem, but neither is he the solution. And I think someone actually said it in the chat that De Jong was the solution, but this was, oh, here it is. Here it is. Big up to Sidaf. Says, Casemiro was never the solution. Frankie de Jong was. Ten Hag delayed playing his tactics because he did not get what he wanted. That's why now he brought in Mount and Sufyan. Big up to Sufyan, man. I just want to see him play. I just want to see him play. Big up to Steffi in the comments. Says, big up, just got home listening in. Hope you're having a great day. I love how you lot are laughing about the Daily Mail thing. That's a legit article, guys. It's a legit article. Bruno spoke with fan channels. To be fair, he was doing duties. Yeah, I think the way it normally works at like games is that there's like a mixed zone. It's called a mixed zone where all the media is. That all the other media. So anyone that's got broadcasting rights gets their own little, like TNT Sports, CBS, etc. They get their own little section to do their interviews, and then the mix zone is where everybody else would be. So that's like journalists, fan channels, etc. And basically, if people stop for you, you can chat to them. That's how it is. So I think Bruno just stopped for them, and that's not. Whereas the broadcasting channels, they can either request a player or someone will be allocated media duties after the game. But in this instance, Andre Onana said he wants to do it with TNT Sports, and then CBS weren't doing post-game interviews, and then reportedly he went to them, and Schmeichel was at the game, and he said he wants to speak to them and do it with them. So that is proof is in the pudding. Thank you, guys. English ain't my first language, so sometimes sometimes I'd be struggling. Sometimes I'd be struggling. Ten Hag has said something in mind. I was shocked with Mount being the number 7, even made him a priority signing, and Ten Hag stating he's an important player in the game. So it'll be Suf, Bruno, and Mount. I think the biggest issue right now that we have this issue of the right hand. We have this issue of the midfield, but I think the biggest issue we have is that right hand side. I think, the fact that we have no actual right winger bar Palestri is a bit concerning. Obviously, Anthony Sancho will probably next summer, guys, go back out and buy another right winger. That's how the joke's just right itself at this point. But for me, I think the bigger concern is having no right winger, because essentially, if we play Mount outright, if we play Bruno outright, if we play a diamond, if we play Palestri, it's either we're playing with one less player, because the right wing is essentially on that Bayern Munich game. The right hand side was essentially I wouldn't say non-existent, but it didn't have a lot of impact going forward. A lot of our play or a lot of our build-up was coming from centrally left-hand side. And then when Rashford switched to the right and Garnacho came on, a lot of it came from that right-hand side. And obviously when Rashford plays on the right, he's forced to cross the ball in. He's forced to, because he's not going to cut in and shoot with his left. And also it's easier for him to hit that with his right foot. But on the topic of that, let me know, guys, in the chat below, your starting 11 tomorrow versus Burnley. Like I said, 8 o'clock kickoff at Turf Moor. I think it's going to be obvious. I don't think we're going to see heavy rotation. I don't think we're going to see much rotation. I think I would like to see Hannibal, but again, I don't see that happening. I think Ten Hag might go for Bruno out to the right. I think Eriksen in the 10, and then Hannibal Mejbri and Casemiro in the middle, or Hannibal in the 10 and then Eriksen and Casemiro. I think the idea of Pellistri playing outright is an idea far gone, if that makes sense. I think Ten Hag has trialed it, didn't work, is back to square one again in terms of making his decision. So I would say that. But I think other than that, for me, can I just talk about Rasmus Højlund? Can we talk about Rasmus Højlund, guys? Can we talk about him? How nice does it feel to have a striker that makes a difference or gives some sort of impact? I felt like he did. Kim Min-jae had a good game. Defensively had a great game. But I think Højlund did enough to kind of disrupt that comfortableness of the back line. I think we need a striker, obviously, very, very clearly. And I think this guy, once him and Rashford start linking up well together, it's going to be a joy to watch. I think it's going to be a joy to watch. It's going to be a happy moment. I think he could have had more than one goal if Rashford had found him at certain instances in the Bayern Munich game. And I think once our midfielders kind of screw their heads on, once Bruno screws his head on, once Eriksen is getting forward more, finding the striker, looking for the target man, I think Højlund is going to be I think he might be the best signing of the summer. And you lot know I was critical about him. You lot know I was not only was I critical about him, I was critical about particularly the price tag, obviously. Mason Mount, Andre Onana, whoever we signed, I think Rasmus Højlund, we're going to look back next summer and be like, this is the impact signing. No matter what his price was, no matter what his price is, he is an impact signing. I think he's just very unlucky. And one thing I will say is I'm very skeptical. Sorry, guys, eyelash just went in my eye. All my days. I'm very skeptical about putting too much pressure on him. I don't want to put too much pressure on him. Same way, I don't think we should put too much pressure on Kobbie Mainoo. Everybody says, and you lot in the chat, guilty of doing it too, saying, when Kobbie comes back, our midfield this, our midfield. But the guy hasn't played a senior game. He hasn't started a senior game. Everything he's had is little cameos here and there. Please, let's not put too much pressure on Kobbie Mainoo to be the game changer for us. Let him grow into his position. Let him grow into the team. Let him grow into the rotation. Let him grow into a starting lineup position. Let him grow. Let him grow. Let him get into it. Please, let's not put too much pressure on him. But for Rasmus Højlund, I'm very excited to see how this kind of plays out. If he can stay fit, if Rashford opens his eyes sometimes instead of going for goal and tries to find the target man. The thing is, Rashford went from being the goal scorer last season to essentially now having to decide when to be a goal scorer and when to be a supporting role, basically. He went from being the main goal scoring threat to now having to decide when to do which one. And I think he's just trying to find that balance, which is why I try not to be too critical. I try not to criticize him too much because you already know Rashford is probably him and Bruno most criticized in the team after Harry Maguire. Them two are the most criticized. So I don't like to pile on to Rashford too much. But I think once he figures out, because you can't go from being, it's like guys being in a movie, yeah? It's like being in Avengers, okay? I don't even know what superheroes are in Avengers. Who's the main superhero? Whoever's the main superhero in it. It's like, I don't know. I know Black Panther. So I'll just say, it's like me being Black Panther in the Avengers movie, and then bam, next one they expect me to be, the woman America. What's her name? I forgot what her name is. She's not a main character in Avengers, but she's there. And I'll be like, come on, guys, I was just Black Panther last year, and now you want me to be basically be an extra in the movie. No, thank you. But that's what I'm getting at. Marcus Rashford has to find that balance. And when he does, he will benefit from it because his goals and assists tally will kind of look more like a team player. It won't be like 30 goals and 7 assists. It'll be more like 20 goals and, 13, 14, 15 assists. Number one. Number two, players will find each other more. The link up will be better. Rasmus Højlund will kick off. And I think the biggest thing that we have to kind of consider is having some sort of spread of our goals. Last year, it was way too dominated by one or two people. I like that time when it was, our front three were just racking up numbers. We need to find an even distribution across our front line. So I think once Rashford does that, Rasmus Højlund, he's going to be a problem. Also, Rashford hasn't had a decent number 9 for a long time that understands where to run and also when to run. I think that's a big part that you see, especially when Højlund came on as a sub, when he started versus Bayern Munich. You see the runs that he makes, and sometimes Rashford just looks up too late because his head is down. I think once he remembers, what's her name? Her name is Wonder Woman. My bad. My bad. Is she in Avengers or not? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Wonder Woman is from DC. My bad. There's a woman. Isn't there like a woman Captain America? Is there not? Am I bugging? I swear there's a female Captain America, guys. I swear there's a female Captain America. Female Captain America. Oh, it hasn't come out yet. It hasn't come out yet, but is Captain... Is this Wonder Woman? Is this lady Wonder Woman? She just looks like Captain America to me. She looks like the female Captain America. Oh, it is Wonder Woman. My bad, guys. Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's Captain Marvel. There you go. There you go. Sorry, guys. I'm not good at superhero stuff, guys. The only thing I've watched them, but I like Joker, innit? Joker. Apparently, me liking the Joker is a weird thing because he's not really superhero, but I like him. Yeah, I think he's really funny. Woman America is such a Somali pronunciation. It's something my mum would say. I'm not gonna lie. My mum got a funny way of pronouncing. My mum got such a funny way of pronouncing some stuff that when she says it and it's wrong, we kind of just go with that forever. So for the longest time, my mom's been calling, when my mom mispronounces stuff for like 25 years, we just keep going with that, and to a point where all my cousins call it that, and my siblings, and you don't know what it is, man. Sorry, guys, English ain't my first language, but you guys understood what I was trying to get at. Number one, you knew what character I was talking about. You see, this is why it's telepathy. It's basically twin telepathy at this point. You don't understand me, I understand you guys. Captain Marvel, that's the woman that I'm talking about. Is the woman in this picture here that I'm looking at is Captain Marvel, but she looks like Captain America, just the woman version, guys. She looks like Captain America, just the woman version. That's it. But I think the Joker is my favorite. DC, Marvel, whatever, for me is Joker, and then is it Batman? Batman is the Dark Knight. I like that movie. It was really, really, really good. I like Black Panther. The first one was really good. Second one, not too good. And I just think I don't really like Marvel. I'm not really a big Marvel fan, guys. I'm not really big on Marvel. Minna, tell us how old you are without telling us how old you are. That should give it away, the fact that I don't like superhero stuff. I don't like superhero stuff. But I'm going to quickly scroll up because some of you guys put your preferred formations in the chat. And I've seen some of you guys actually drop in some players. Sidaf says, Onana, Dallo, Varane, Martinez, Reguilon. Big up to Reguilon, man. How's Aloni our best player? That's crazy. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Pellistri, Højlund, and Rashford. So essentially, that's the same starting lineup, just Varane in for Lindelof. Koala says Koala's not a fan of Onana. If you guys have not realized, not big on Onana. Says Bayinda, Dallo, Martinez, Varane, Reguilon, Amrabat, Bruno, Mount, Rashford, Højlund, Garnacho. So that's essentially a change in half of the starting 11 from the Bayern Munich game. Changing the goalkeeper, centre back, 2 midfielders, and the winger as well. I think starting out Rashford on the right. I don't know about that. Can Garnacho even play on the left? Can Garnacho, play on the right? I'm not too sure. Quickly, let's wrap it up, guys, with some predictions. That's how we're going to leave. That's how we're going to end it. Gonna do I'll be on United View tomorrow. For all the people that have been asking why I've not been on United View, some people have even been asking me. Someone messaged me to ask me if I left, and I was like, no, I just haven't been on it for a few weeks because I've been busy. But now I'm not busy anymore. But I'll be on United View tomorrow for the Burnley game, so I will probably do a stream on Sunday. What we learned after game week, I think 6 it is now. After what we've learned after game week 6, I might do maybe a hate along, United Nations of Hate for the North London derby. That's a big maybe. But I'll be doing FC24 streams. I'm not saying the F word, guys. Not saying it, but you know that game? I will be doing some streams over the weekend, of course, so make sure you guys tune in. I'm going with, and this is very bold of me, 3-0. I'm going with a 3-0 win for a team that has not won 3 games in a row. We've lost. I'm saying 3-0. I'm having reminiscence of the Everton game that we played in April, where we had a lot of chances. I'm thinking it's going to be like that. I think Højlund will get a goal. I think Rashford will get a goal. And Bruno. That's me. That's me. I think the lineup will be the same on the weekend as Bayern Munich. Sorry, I think the only change will probably be Varane might be back. I think Pellistri will be out. And I don't think Amrabat will start. We might see him come on as a sub, but I don't think he will start. I don't know why, guys. I have to believe. We've been bad the last couple of weeks, but no matter how bad we are, I'm so delusional. I'll still say we'll win. I'll still say it. But I'm still concerned about the fact that, obviously, Burnley away, Saturday night, Vincent Kompany need a win, newly promoted. They got a lot to play for. Big up Red Scare Claire says 2-1 Manchester United. Axe says, I agree, Burnley win. Steffi saying, too bold, too reckless, Mina. I've been hanging around KG too much. Dead and Gone says 2-1 Burnley over United. God damn, you guys. What is going on? 2-1 Uncle Vince with the W. I'm starting to question if some of you guys are actually Man United fans. United with 5-0. That's what I like to hear. 2-0 United. This is what everyone believing in a clean sheet. 2-0 United. 4-1 United. Come on. Listen, I will take that. I think we'll beat Burnley 2-0. Everyone expecting a clean sheet bar a few people. Clyde says Amrabat hasn't had enough time with the team to start, but who knows? Prediction 3-1. I don't know, because the thing is, Ten Hag confuses me sometimes. 1 minute he says that he ain't going against what he believes, and he ain't just going to throw people into lineups, and then he does that. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know whether to expect Amrabat to win. I don't know whether to expect Amrabat to come. I'm sorry. I don't know whether to expect Amrabat to come on. I don't know whether we should expect him to start, whether if he's going to be named on the bench. I don't even know. But as always, big up to everybody in the chat. You know what it is, man. Friday Night Lights. You can come here for a nice quiet vibe on a Friday evening, 7 p.m. You guys know what it is, man. I'm trying to be consistent. So hold me to it. Go check out my recent community post on the channel. You guys can see me with a nice little footballer who I had some words with him. And I said, next week when you play United, take it easy. Of course, we've got some FC24 streams on its way, guys. I promise it's on its way. This weekend, we are streaming. Obviously, Burnley game. We've got a lot of content. Big up to everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, I can do the outro properly this time. But to be honest, I don't think I will be able to, man. Big up to everyone. You guys know what it is. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, guys, it's your girl, Mina. Peace out, man. Peace.